Live from Pennsylvania, it's Marywood Tonight starring Randy Rabb with Katie Klotz and the post-production band. Tonight, Brielle Scheland, Faith Givens, and now, here he is, Randy Rabb!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Marywood Tonight. I am your host, Randy Rabb. Thank you. Well, we are back with your regularly scheduled mediocre content. Now, unfortunately, tonight our dear friend Katie won't be with us. She is visiting her grandparents, so we decided to add her in post. What do you think, Katie? Wow, it's like she's actually here. Easter was last weekend, a time for family, fun, and egg hunting outside of the grocery store this time, which is nice. It's new. Oh, this is interesting. Katy Perry was a crew member on the recent Blue Origin rocket. Have you heard about this? Puts a whole new meaning to Baby, You're a Firework. The rocket was historically crewed by an all-female crew. Out of 6 crew members, only one is actually qualified to fly a spaceship. And I can't think of a situation I'd rather be in, putting my life in the hands of 5 celebrities and 1 professional. The mission was, of course, being funded by Jeff Bezos, owner of Amazon. In fact, we actually have footage of the launch. Take a look.
2, 1.
Wow, that's great. He's so rich he can afford anything. What do you think, Katie?
Yeah, I need a teleprompter just like for the news.
That's right. She's here. She's here with us in the studio. Wouldn't be able to tell if I didn't tell you. Oh, you know, I love the fact that Jeff Bezos owns a rocket company. I guess even the Martians can get same-day shipping. Zing! President Trump doubled down on his idea to deport American criminals to foreign prisons. Reportedly, the act is supposed to remove all the criminals who aren't billionaires. Well, this is interesting. Last week, 2 American airline planes bumped wings at the Washington airport while taxiing. A spokesperson for American Airlines said, quote, "Still better than flying Spirit." Surgeons in New York had to remove a patient's new kidney that was genetically modified from a pig. The patient's body rejected the kidney, something about it being from a pig. Hey, we got a great show, ladies and gentlemen. Brielle Scheland is with us. We also got Faith Givens. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot more show coming back.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. Surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, normally we have a death segment, and we do. But you might remember a while ago, Al Manelli was on the program, and he said that it was his last year. Let's see the clip. Is this your last year with us at Marywood?
This will probably be my last semester, yeah. So
We'll add Oz in the
You know what? I think you should add crickets instead, because that would probably be the actual
We won't have to
reaction.
edit anything. We'll just amp up the sound for the crickets.
Yeah, just that hiss. Just
Okay. Now, he said it was his last time teaching here. However, he was f***ing lying. So, we decided we're going to do a top 10 list of things we've lied about, ladies and gentlemen. Top 10 things we've lied about. And to help me present it is a good friend of the show and also works here, Rubain Singh.
Hey.
All right. Okay. All right, Rubain, how you doing?
Dandy.
That's good. All right. Did you know that we're a bunch of liars?
Yeah. No. I thought Randy was 43.
I thought I was 43.
Apparently he's like...
Apparently, I'm told I'm 20, which is crazy. So here's what we'll go. We'll popcorn read this.
Yeah.
You do the odds, and I'll do the. Well, I'll do the odds. You do the evens.
Yeah.
And so top 10 things we've lied about. We got the list right here. Rubain, start us off.
Top 10 things we've lied about. Saying we invented the top 10. I guess we invented the top 10 list. Yeah.
Yeah. We came up with this concept. Okay, top 10 things we've lied about. Number 9, the moon landing. That was faked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Saying the moon landing was fake. Wait, you just did that one.
Yeah, the moon landing was faked.
Oh.
It actually happened, apparently.
The moon landing.
Yeah, it was real. It wasn't faked at all. Top 10 things we've lied about. Number 7, saying Al Manelli was my friend. That was a faux pas on my end.
Or Al likes us.
Yeah, he doesn't like us. He hates us.
that's a lie.
This is a true story. He was here on the show, and within 5 minutes of being in the studio, he was already criticizing it.
Of course.
What a guy. I love him.
What a man.
All right, here you go, Ruben.
Which number am I on? I lied. I knew.
We're a bunch of liars.
Saying our producer Felix Litton is human. I don't know.
Felix Litton? Latini. Our producer, Felix Litton.
Elaine's a Pokemon for anyone that doesn't know.
Felix Litton. Saying our producer, Felix Lindor Truffle is a human.
Wait, he's not?
Have you met him?
I really think he's like Egyptian.
I gotta figure out
that's
what
human.
planet.
I mean Martian.
I'm just trying to get my foot out the door. I'm just trying to leave with some dignity and not get this show off the air. I like this show.
Yeah. Do you? Or is that a lie too?
All right, number 5, calling ourselves a comedy show. That's probably the biggest lie we've put on.
We're more sad than comedy.
We talk about politics and the economy.
Yeah, after the shoot, sometimes Randy and I get in a huddle and we talk about our feelings.
Yeah, all right.
It always ends us with crying.
Everybody, number 4.
Oh, we're not telling them that?
No, we're going to move on. We're going to keep this train going.
Bernie's first name isn't Bernard. Bernard. It's actually Bernadict.
Yep, Benedict Radel. Unknown fact. It's not.
Actually?
Yeah, it's Benedict Radel. It's on his birth certificate. We got access to his birth. In fact, we'll pull it up now. We have his birth certificate. There it is, Benedict Radel. We're just gonna keep this going. All right.
Benedict makes sense.
Yeah,
Benedict.
I agree. Benedict is weird. I understand why he goes by Bernie. All right, number 3. We're filmed in front of a live studio audience. Yep, it's
our live studio audience is 4 people.
It's sad.
Mostly it's me.
All right, number 2.
The Maxis Award was not rigged. It actually was.
Yeah, that was a faux pas.
Yeah, there's a reason I wasn't there, because if it wasn't rigged, I would have won. You hear that, Mom? I would have won. Yeah, that's a lie.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Number 1, the top number 1 thing we've lied about. I'm happy. Wow, a lot of laughs. All right, Rubain, thank you so much for coming on. We're go. Oh my God!
I am happy.
Okay. Wow. Well, we're gonna go to commercial. We'll be right back with Brielle Scheland. Stick around.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. My guest tonight is a Marywood student, obviously, and a very big part of the department. She's performed on this show as well as hosts her own radio shift. I'm sure we'll find the time out when she comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brielle Scheland.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming,
Good to be here.
Brielle. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's
Doing
good.
Happy to be here.
All right, so everybody who comes and sits in that chair, they're always asked the same question, and you're no exception. Why Marywood?
Like most things in my life, the money.
Well, you came here because it was cheap?
No. I was very privileged to get a good scholarship here, as well as some other schools. But what camera are we on? Are we on it?
Oh, it doesn't matter. You don't have to look into the camera.
Not just that, although that was very generous. I loved the fact that their department here seemed so well equipped, which was mostly true. Mostly true, now that I'm here. No, it is great to work on so many great projects, and just no other school seemed as collaborative. So I loved the fact that everyone, even if you didn't know somebody that well, just kind of treated you like an instant friend. Like they would just kind of be there for you, work on a project, work on something that you need. Everyone's there for each other, so I like it.
We have a shared love of theater.
Absolutely.
I want to know how you got into it.
I got into theater because I was on YouTube one day watching a behind-the-scenes video of somebody who was an extra on Broadway.
Okay.
And was like, I want to do that one day, but I had no idea how. And then I was in 8th grade, and one of my friends was putting on a cabaret show, and I heard the intro to the Hamilton theme song, the opening number.
Oh, that's good.
The do 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 do, and I turned around. I said, "This is how I'm going to start right now." And I was the dancer during one number where I roll on the floor and someone else jumped over me, and it was like, that thrill is something that I'm never going to get anywhere else. So then I started doing community theater at the Scranton Shakespeare Festival, and now I'm a minor here at Marywood.
Nice. I got into it senior year of high school. Well, my freshman year of high school back home, I was in a theater class and I did a little performing, but it was senior year when I landed the role of Tevye, and the first time I ever auditioned for a show. I swear I was typecast. That's genuine. My director says that. She says, you looked like him, so I hired you. I guess it just worked out that you managed to do it well.
Yeah.
It was the applause for me. The end. You don't get that rush. It's like better than anything you can take, anything you can drink. It's just, it's such a thrill.
Caught the bug.
Exactly. It's like you go out there and they're all applauding you, and it's not just, I don't mean to sound so self-centered, but it's also, you make these people's nights. You're making them happy, and that's a good feeling too.
There's nothing better than the feeling of bringing someone joy. The last production I did was a children's rendition of Cinderella, which was like a pantomime version of it. So very slapstick.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Exactly. A lot of slapstick comedy, a lot of it's catered towards like family. And just watching the kids come out and just being greeted with so much magic, and it's something that you don't get from anywhere else, seeing their days be made.
Now,
Great theater.
What's your favorite theater moment? This could either be one of yours or something from a show.
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Oh, yeah.
I love,
Next, we'll ask you about your political views. We do really loaded questions here.
Oh, great to know. Great to know.
And there's a timer.
Great.
Start the clock.
Cue the stopwatch. No, okay. So probably my favorite theater moment was when during one of my first performances, like real productions I put on at a community theater company was of Heathers.
Okay.
And I was chosen to be the dance captain for that. So it was a lot of fun leading those choreography moments and teaching people the different numbers. But the best thing is the first time I ever made a choice, which is something that then you never stop doing after you get validated once. You just keep saying, I'm going to make more choices, and then if anything, people are just going to have to tell me to reel it back because it's better than not doing enough. So I threw myself over a table during a dress rehearsal. Because it was during like a fight. If you've ever seen the production Heathers, there's a slow motion fight scene.
Right.
And I played a cheerleader who was just devastated that a jock was getting beat up, which is not okay. Anyway, so
you lunged yourself over a table?
I lunged myself over a cafeteria table.
That's devotion, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and the director said yes, and I said say less.
I remember, and I always tell this story, but during Fiddler, I have these boots, these like Victorian-made boots with wooden soles.
I remember this.
And my director wanted me in the Fiddler, because this was right after To Life. I don't know if you've seen the show, where I'm drunk, and I was drunk, so it worked out pretty good.
Perfect.
She wanted us to skip around in a circle. Okay. So I'm doing that, and I would notice my boots, a wooden stage, my boots were kind of slipping, and I told her tonight. She said, "You'll be fine. You'll be okay."
Like any good costume department.
Any good costume. You'll be okay. So first go goes off without a hitch. Beautiful show.
Great.
Second show, everything seems to go wrong. I slip, legs go above my head, and I fall on my behind, and I start laughing. Lights go out. The stage manager rushes up. She says, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine. Can you get going? Yeah, I'm okay. She's talking to her mic. Okay. You have a limp now. I'm like,
great.
Okay, all right. So now I have a limp.
The show must go on.
Honestly, it must. And it got big laughs. That was good. People said to me later on, "Was that fake? Did you mean to do that?" And my mom was freaking out because she had seen both shows. Now, tell me about your favorite show. Now, again, this could be either one you've done or one you've watched.
My favorite show is probably either Chicago or Beetlejuice. Which I know is like two completely different.
That's like the opposite end of each spectrum. Okay.
Yeah, because I really do appreciate the classic style of Chicago and its symbolism in Hollywood, and especially how relevant it is. But then I loved Beetlejuice, the movie. I was like, I loved everything spooky, still do, and so I love that it was turned into a musical, Best of Both Worlds.
Yeah.
And then I saw it in Hershey, performed with the touring Broadway cast.
Was it who plays Beetlejuice? I can never remember his name.
His first name was Justin. I forget his last name.
Who was the original then? That's who I'm trying to talk about.
Alex Brightman.
He is great.
He is fantastic.
He is so energetic.
He plays. With the School of Rock musical. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen Jack Black play it in the movie.
Oh yeah, but yeah, he plays the teacher in the musical stage production of School of Rock. So yeah, his energy is insane.
Are you familiar at all with Ramin Karimloo?
I'm not.
He plays the Phantom of the Opera in the 25th anniversary.
Oh wow.
And so here's what makes me angry. Okay, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. 2004, my birth year. We get the Phantom of the Opera movie. Have you seen that?
Oh yes, big fan.
Big fan of it.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Gerard Butler.
Yes.
He was
listen.
He was my first exposure. I'll always love him. Not the best, but here's what makes me angry. Ramin Karimloo was in that movie as Christine's father, a little cameo. At the same time, he was touring as Raoul. He's the first guy to ever play 3 roles.
Wow.
Could have been in the movie.
Yes,
they could have got him to play the Phantom.
This is true. Fact
check. And me and my good friend Mary Miles always talk about this. We could have had that beautiful world, where instead of Gerard Butler, who did an okay job, auto-tune was definitely his friend.
I'm not putting Gerard, the late great Gerard Butler. He's not dead. He's just not.
The late great.
I just haven't watched the movie in a minute.
Well, when this comes out, we never know. We don't want to predict the future.
I am not, but not putting him on blast on the World Wide Web, because.
I will say about that show, Emmy Rossum did great.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful voice.
Yes.
And the score is the best I've ever heard. Full orchestra for it.
It was beautiful. Masquerade just hits.
Just chills. That overture sends chills down my spine.
Seriously.
As much as I want to keep talking about Phantom of the Opera, we have to go to break. So we will be right back with more Brielle Scheland.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready? Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the
Pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, with Brielle Scheland. Now, multicom major.
Yes.
Same with me.
Mm-hmm.
Film, TV, and radio. Of the three, what is your favorite?
Radio.
Really?
For sure. It's kind of a lonely world picking that because I feel like a lot of people didn't really gravitate towards that, going in here and seeing, I first toured the radio station and heard that it's not usually the popular pick.
Right.
So, it's a good and bad because you want to have a passionate team of people who, can keep it going, but also it allowed me some independence to suggest ideas and say, like, hey, I'm going to do it if no one else will. So
I have a shift too. When's your shift? I mentioned it earlier.
Shameless plug, every Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Okay. And I'm going to plug mine Thursday mornings, 10 to 12. Watch that instead. Sorry, it's my show. That's what I'm saying. Tell me your favorite thing about being a DJ.
Besides just loving to talk, if you haven't noticed. I love to talk, but I love music. I grew up around all kinds of music, from heavy metal to disco to country, everything.
Yeah.
So having that alternative format to have a little mix of a little bit of everything and artists that are inspired by a little bit of everything gives me the opportunity to just share everything that I love in one show. 2-hour block. I wish I had more time to share more, but hopefully, I can't say too much yet, but hopefully that will be coming in the future.
What's your favorite genre?
Oh.
If you had to name one, you have to pick one. What's your favorite genre?
Right now, I'm really, if I'm not listening to Taylor Swift, I'm listening to metalcore music. Okay. I love heavy metal music and anything from like modern to like 80s metal. I don't know.
Last night I listened to that Taylor Swift song, It's Me, Hi, I'm the Problem, It's Me. I don't remember. Yeah, I did not know that came out in 2022.
Yes.
I thought it was like 2024.
Yeah, I mean, it went by really fast.
Yeah.
It came out around my birthday, so I remember just jamming out to it.
It makes me feel old, and I never feel old.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're such a big fan of certain artists and things, you're just like, this already came out so long ago. It hits different.
No, they're moving the radio station next year at Marywood upstairs to the Learning Commons ground floor.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good and bad about it. I feel mostly good because if you've seen the promo, if anyone have seen the Giving Day promo for that, our department is significantly lacking vitamin D. We are struggling. Many of us have other vitamin disorders because of it. I think the cases of scurvy have risen.
Oh yeah, I've noticed it. A lot of toothless people walking around, black gums, and they're bleeding.
It's scary. It's scary. So we're getting to that point now where we're going to need to get some windows in the department. So honestly, I'm happy we're going to have that. And then a lot of other students who are like, wait, we have a radio station? Well, now it's going to be kind of plastered on the window, very front floor. So that's going to be great.
Oh yeah.
The negative side to that, however, is that I heard from the grapevine that a lot of our physical media, our CDs, are going to be greatly minimized, which anyone watching, I don't want to name drop, but any department leaders who are planning on supporting that idea, I will volunteer during the summer. I told one of our professors here, Professor Murphy, I will come in during the summer and build shelves if I have to keep our physical media
And you know
alive.
what? I will help you with that because I need something to do. In fact, comment on this video when it goes up. Hashtag save the CDs. Save these CDs. We're going to save them. We're going to try. Or steal the CDs at the very least if they need a home.
Already have.
Yeah, admit that on TV. I was pretty much against the whole radio moving thing because I was always of the opinion, well, just get a bunch of posters or something like that. But I saw the designs. Have you seen the designs?
I have.
So I am all for it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. As well as radio DJ, which you do a good job of, you're also an actor in a lot of people's capstones projects. You've worked with us. You've danced on. In fact, we got that clip. You were a dancer during the Maxis Awards.
Yes.
Let's roll that clip. We'll see how that looks.
Marywood.
So you've done a lot of things, not just for us, but for people around the department. What's your favorite thing about being on screen?
Working with a director's vision is always very fun because I think, somebody has an idea in their head of a certain character, and it really does feel like more of an honor to kind of try and portray that for such a big project that a lot of people are doing, like capstone projects. So, a lot of it, you get to kind of get out of your comfort zone and be a character that you would never act like in real life.
Right.
So that's why I'm either drunk or dead in most of my roles. So it's always very fun.
I remember
Yes.
Dead Air.
Oh
That was
yes.
so good.
Yeah.
With the great Christian Whelan, a good friend of mine. What was it like working with him?
Very interesting. That was the first time I met him.
Very tall.
Extremely.
Yeah.
And I did not know, I had never met him before. So a great director, Colby Hughes, was the director of that.
And Cupid Shuffle. Well, she wrote Cupid Shuffle
Yes,
and
and
helped
Cupid
direct it with
Shuffle,
Janelle
shameless
Simoni's.
plug.
Very good
Go
movie.
watch it, watch it,
It's
of
up
course.
now.
Yes, so she said, just so you know, very tall, we're going to have some fight choreography. I said, okay, no problem. And then that was the first time I met him. It was a totally different ballgame actually getting into the set and doing it. But thankfully, everyone made everything very comfortable, feel very choreographed, and it went off without a hitch. So.
Do you have any desires to write or direct your own project?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas for writing. It's just an idea of not being afraid. You have to be unafraid, especially in this major. You have to make sure that you're just getting your ideas out there without apology and making sure you can communicate that effectively.
Well, when you do, make sure you give me a call because I am desperate for a job. Anyways, so tell me about your plans after college. What are you doing after you leave?
I would love to work in radio.
Okay.
Unsurprisingly, I just find that to be such a great, I don't know why, it brings me so much joy to share music with the world and hopefully be entertaining enough that people will want to listen. So I'd love to work in that field. If not, maybe being a journalist and doing interviews because shameless plug, I'm also working on a radio show podcast style thing where I'm doing some interviews. So hopefully that will be something in the future as well.
Well, I can't wait to see it, Brielle. I hope everything works out for you. Thank you for coming to the show. We'll be right back with Faith Givens. Stick around.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
I'm Chris Jackamick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
Oh, we're back. My next guest tonight is a multi-con major and has helped me on a bunch of projects. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Faith Givens.
Hi, Randall.
Hello.
Am I allowed to drink the water?
Sure, if you want.
Did Brielle drink it?
No.
Okay.
All right, Faith.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait.
The Sharpie job's not that good.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
What?
Well, thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
You can leave now.
You begged me. So.
Oh yeah, I sent you a lot of letters, a carrier pigeon once. I telegraphed you in Morse code. You didn't respond to any of that.
I'm actually surprised by the carrier pigeon. Those are extinct. So
I'm
glad you brought it back from the dead.
When we went to the Everhart Museum, I nabbed one on display, and I took it with us. Faith, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, why are you here at Marywood? What brings you here?
My grandmother came here about 53, 54 years ago. Don't exactly know the exact time period, but it was before the nun house burned down.
Okay.
And she said she liked it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to go to school there, because she always talked about it. And I was like, that's lame, going to the same school your grandmother went to.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing that. And then at a, what are they called? College? I don't know. There were just a bunch of, it was...
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know.
There were just a bunch of colleges there, like with booths.
Admissions fair.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And during that time, they had a booth at for Marywood, and my mom was like, just go and tell your grandmother you went. And I was like, okay. And then we walked down, and then I was like, okay, maybe it's not as bad. The brochure was pretty. And they had like film production, because the other colleges I planned on applying to was like film theory, and I wanted to do the production side of it, and this was really the only college that offered that. So,
I mean, Keystone also offered it, but
I also wasn't.
We saw saw how that turned out.
Also,
now I genuinely have this written down on your card. Talk about Delaware.
Yeah.
You're from Delaware.
I am.
Tell me about Delaware. How was it?
I'm from Lower Delaware,
Okay.
so about an hour away from the beaches. It's pretty nice, pretty cool. Except I don't live anywhere near the beaches, and it's just farmland everywhere, and it smells like chicken poop all the time. But it's one of the smaller towns in Delaware, which any town in Delaware is small. It's the second smallest state. But
what's the first smallest?
Rhode Island.
Okay.
But it's fine. It's very flat until you get up towards like Wilmington, which is northern Delaware. That's where the hills come in, because it borders Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania's hilly. But
I'm told former President Biden was from Delaware. Do you hear that
He
often?
was. I walked by his house.
Okay. How was that?
It was empty. He wasn't in it.
Oh.
Yeah, he was in Washington at the time, so
okay.
wasn't really putting it to use.
Do you know?
Couldn't guess. Couldn't guess. But I don't know. We don't really talk about it. They make a bigger deal up here because he was born here.
Okay.
Which is surprising. I went from the place Biden grew up to the place also Biden grew up.
And one day you'll be president.
Yep. Sure.
That's the track here. You're going here for film and TV. On your way to become
president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're also managing editor of the Woodward.
I am.
So tell me about that. What duties do you have?
My job is to babysit Vinny. That's my entire job, basically. I still write, but most of the time it's to babysit Vinny, just make sure he's doing what he needs to do.
All right. And he does a good job.
He does a good job because I do a good job babysitting him. Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, behind every successful man is a successful woman. So, doing a pretty good job there.
Thank you, Randall.
We want to add laughs there because it's the truth.
Oh, okay.
That's right. I'm with her.
Randall, feminist queen.
That's true. You also have a radio shift with Bernie and Yamale. Is that like the Felix Ottini show from, I think it was last semester you guys did that? Or last year?
So it's nothing like that because we still play music.
Oh, okay.
We just do all our talk breaks together.
All right. Is that fun?
It's fun most of the time. I end up having to share a mic with most of the time it's Yamale. And Bernie gets his own mic because he's special, I guess.
And he talks forever.
He does.
His first talk break, we clocked it 10 minutes with Al Manelli.
I know.
It's how?
Fun story about that. I actually
Oh.
told them that they had to stop because we had to do the legal ID. And then Al was like, well, we can't keep going. This is a great conversation. And I was like, you could do it off the air. Like, I don't care. But I had to keep them in check. But it's chill. We play the music we like and then talk, and then that's it.
You've also done a lot of work for TVM.
Mhm.
I know you've done some things with Felix and Ben last year for April Fool's Day. You went
Yes.
out and did a shoot. But you've also worked on our skits. What was that like from your perspective? Like, you remember the slapstick one? Let's use
Yeah.
that for an example.
Which one was the slapstick one?
Is
that the one with Kyle?
Yeah, he was in
Okay.
it.
It was fun. I don't know.
How would you rate me as a director? Because
As
I
a
directed that.
director?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know you directed it. I was there.
Well, they don't know.
You should watch it. It's
Yeah, we'll link it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had to tier list me, like, S, A, B, C, D, where would you put me on the tier list of directors you've worked with? You've also worked with the great Janelle Smolnies.
Yeah, I've only worked with her and you, and she did a better job. No offense, but I'd put you at a B. There's room for improvement, Everyone's got room for improvement.
I'm going to need a lot more of that after the break. The Maxis Awards.
Mhm.
You've also worked on that. What was it like being kind of in front of the camera
Well,
at
I
the
wouldn't
podium?
say I worked on it. I announced the awards.
That's still
Okay.
work, but what would you? How was that like? Was it a different?
It was awkward. I hate talking in front of people.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate giving speeches. I hate talking in front of people.
I wish I had known before I asked you to do it.
No, it's fine.
So that's my bad.
It's fine.
Okay, but
Yeah.
but did you have fun?
Yeah, I got a little award. Oh, it's at home. It's in Delaware.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I did break it, so I do have to hot glue it back together, but
That's all right.
that's fine.
The amount of brain cells I've lost spray painting all those cups, I don't think I'll ever fully recover.
Did you spray paint it down here?
No, I did it at my house.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
He spray painted.
I did the
down
desk.
here?
No, I didn't spray paint it. I varnished it.
Oh.
And
My
it left a
apologies.
smell.
It smelled disgusting.
It was horrible.
No, it was really bad.
I nearly passed out, I think. Like
I also did, and I was only there for like 2 minutes.
It's a foggy time. I don't remember fully what happened.
Okay.
I think it was a period of 2 days that I've lost
Okay.
complete memory of. But I did not remember that we have to go to break. So we're going to go to break now. We'll be right back with more Faith Gibbons. Stick around.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Faith, you are heavily involved in Marywood films.
I am.
You worked on Cupid Shuffle,
Mhm.
which has been a tremendous success.
It has.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, party goer number 1, right here.
Thank you. The reason the movie's so good. Go on. Tell me about the process.
So I kind of got to do in front and then behind the camera. As I mentioned, the both of us were extras. I did not do a great job being an extra, but that's fine. It's whatever. But I do like being behind the camera more. I was camera assistant, which means I built the camera. not built it, but like I put it together. And then I got to do the slate, and that was fun because I got to decorate it a lot.
You also had some producerial experience. I've heard you had to like contact the actors, make sure they were showing up, make sure things were kind of running smoothly. Was that stressful at all?
No, it consisted of me texting Mary, hey, can you make it this day? And if she said no, text John L. And then she'd be like, see if she could do this day. And then I'd text Mary. It was a lot of back and forth, but it was never stressful.
So it was actor, not actors.
Yeah, well.
I was misled then. I thought you were like in charge of everybody. Okay, you need to be here, you need to be there for that.
Not as much. I sent a few emails.
Okay.
But it was never stressful.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think about Marywood Films as a club? Because this is kind of like their first big break. You know, Everything Worth Remembering was good, but this is like their first big break. The Marywood premiere was tremendous, and Everhart, of course, was great. So, how do you think Marywood Films as an organization is doing right now?
I think we're really good. We are kind of switching between managerial. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but like John L. is graduating, so we're kind of working through who's gonna take that over now. We're kind of planning for the future. Script submissions are due, I think, the first week of May, or it's either the first week of May or May 1st. It's one of those two.
Do you take them from anybody on campus?
Yes, we are. I actually have to email the English department right after this, but anyone is able to do a script submission.
Where could they submit that? We'll put it up.
They can email the Films Club or they can email Felix.
Okay. And
I'll give you the
we'll have their email on screen now and as well as in the description. But tell me about the atmosphere on the set, because when I was there for the party shoot, it was fun, but I wasn't there for all of it, of course. Tell me about that atmosphere.
It's kind of like we're all a big family, you know? Like I get to work with people and we all have the same goal of wanting to make something great. And so a lot of us are determined to make it great, but we also have the ability to have a fun time while doing it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was always a blast. Like, there are days that I won't forget, like, ever. Like, I'll be 80 and I'll be like, oh, that was fun.
From what I hear, one of those days was the Carbondale shoot.
I loved the Carbondale shoot.
Please tell me about. In fact, we have a clip from the Carbondale shoot. Let's see that clip.
Because you just told me.
So, Faith, tell me about that. We saw that just yelling. Tell me about that.
So that was around maybe 11:30. At the same time, I was also doing a assignment for Mark Hiller's class, so I was juggling a lot of things at once. It was due that day at midnight, so I was like, oh, I gotta hurry up. But it was during the last scene when the two main characters, you know, have their kiss. But there was this man who was walking up, and it was right before we were about to, like, John L. was about to yell action. So he stopped, and then, you know, they kissed, and then she said cut, and then he was like, they weren't done yet, or he said something around those lines. You know, you meet the craziest people when you're filming at 11:30.
Especially in Carbondale.
Especially in Carbondale, yeah. That was actually my first time really in Carbondale.
Oh,
yeah.
You enjoy it?
Sure. I'll say that.
I live there, so I'm legally obligated to say I enjoy it. I love Carbondale. No complaints whatsoever. Faith, tell me about your plans after college.
After college? Don't quite know yet. I like working with news. I think it's really interesting. I had an internship last summer, and I worked at a news station, and that was really fun.
Which station?
And they loved me there. I was back home, so it's not up here, yeah. WRDE, Coast TV, shout out. But they liked me up there. So something around those lines. I just wrote a lot, but I'd love to do more producing-wise, I think, with news.
Well,
so.
I wish you nothing but success.
Oh, thank you so much, Randall.
I hope you go far. I hope you go far in this life.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. Thank you so much.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
That's tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. Very big thanks to my guests, Brielle, Scheland, and Faith Givens for coming out. Katie, what did you think of the program? Yeah, that's right. Real informative. I'm so glad you're actually here and not added in post. Oh, what's that, Katie? You have more to add. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Katie, that's great. Katie, look at the camera. Katie. Katie, look at the camera. Katie. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. Well, what's that?
I thought the show was great, but I was not staying in that outfit. Going comfy around here now.
Even more to add. Okay, I'm listening. My ear. I'm all ears. That's right, Katie. All right, that's tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.